How to find the perfect accommodation in Thailand's capital on your own. Entering the world of real estate can be daunting, especially when it comes to a city as unique and diverse as Bangkok. From laid-back apartment complexes to luxurious skyscrapers, the choice of accommodation in Thailand's capital can overwhelm even the most seasoned travelers. But don't worry, this guide will help you navigate this world and make the process of finding accommodation in Bangkok as efficient and enjoyable as possible. With this guide, you'll be ready to find the perfect accommodation in Bangkok on your own. Features of the rental housing market in Bangkok. The rental market in Bangkok is one of the most dynamic and diverse in the world. From luxury condominiums in the city center to cozy homes in quiet suburban areas, the choices are vast. However, with so much variety, it can be difficult to decide which one to choose. It is important to remember that rental prices can vary greatly depending on the neighborhood, type of home, and its condition. Some of the features of the rental market in Bangkok include the following. Prices. The cost of renting in Bangkok can vary greatly. On average, a studio in the city center can cost between 15,000 and 30,000 baht per month, while a studio apartment in the suburbs can cost between 5,000 and 10,000 baht. Length of lease. Most leases are for 1 year or more. However, some owners may agree to a shorter term. Rental terms. In Bangkok, it is customary for the tenant to pay a deposit, usually equal to 1 or 2 months' rent, and the first month's rent in advance. Residence rules. Many condominiums and apartments have strict residence rules that may include restrictions on pets, noise after a certain time, etc. Facilities. Many condominiums and apartments offer additional services such as swimming pool, gym, security, housekeeping, etc. However, it is worth keeping in mind that some of these may incur additional charges. Location. The location of housing plays a big role in its cost. Housing in the city center, near the metro or in areas with developed infrastructure is usually more expensive. Condition of the property. The condition of the apartment or house also affects the rental price. New or recently renovated properties are usually more expensive. Brokerage services. When looking for accommodation in Bangkok, you can use the services of a real estate agency. However, it is worth remembering that you usually have to pay extra for their services. Overview of the current state of the real estate market in Bangkok. Today's rental market real estate in Thailand is in a state of active development. Due to the increased demand for housing, especially in popular tourist areas, rental prices continue to rise. However, thanks to the large number of new construction projects, there are plenty of affordable options for renting at a reasonable price. The real estate sales market also shows positive dynamics. The average cost per square meter in Bangkok continues to grow, which indicates the stability and reliability of investment in real estate in this region. The main buyers of real estate in Bangkok remain both locals and foreigners attracted by favorable investment conditions and high quality of life. An important factor affecting the real estate market is the development of infrastructure. New transport hubs, shopping centers, parks and other facilities are being actively built in Bangkok, which makes the city even more attractive for residents and investment. However, despite the overall growth, there are some risks. The political situation, changing economic situation and the impact of COVID-19 pandemic may affect the real estate market in Bangkok. Therefore, it is recommended to conduct a thorough analysis and consult with experts before buying or renting a property. Overall, the real estate market in Bangkok remains one of the most attractive investment markets in Southeast Asia. Searching for housing. Where to start? The first step in your home search is to determine your budget. This will help you narrow your search and focus on options that you can actually afford. Next, determine the neighborhood you would like to live in. Bangkok is a large city with many different neighborhoods, each with its own unique atmosphere and characteristics. In addition, it is important to determine the type of accommodation you need: apartment, house, studio, etc. Also think about the amenities you need. Do you need a swimming pool, gym, parking, balcony, etc.? Once you have decided on all these parameters, you can start your search. Today, there are many online resources and real estate agencies for this purpose. Keep in mind that when you rent a home, you will likely need to pay a deposit, usually an amount equal to 1 or 2 months' rent, and the first month's rent in advance. In addition, don't forget to factor in extra costs such as utilities, internet, television, etc. If you are moving to another country, consider visa and work permit issues as well. Remember that finding a place to live is a process that can take some time. So start early. You may have to look at many options before you find something that really suits you. It is also advisable to check the accommodation in person before signing the lease. This will allow you to make sure that everything meets your expectations and that there are no hidden problems. Verification of lease terms. When you have found the right one, it is important to check the terms of the lease carefully. Make sure you understand all the clauses in the agreement, and don't be afraid to ask questions. It is important to ask about details such as the length of the lease, living arrangements, utilities, and other additional costs. Also check the conditions for early termination of the contract, whether you can stay with pets, and whether there are penalties for violating the rules of the accommodation. Check whether you are required to insure the property in the rental home and how rent will be paid. Find out if there are maintenance requirements, such as repairs or cleaning, and what your responsibilities are as a tenant. Be sure to ask who will be responsible for repairing appliances, if they are included in the rent, and who will pay for repairs in the event of a malfunction. It is also important to find out if utilities are included in the rent or if they are paid separately. Remember that all terms and conditions must be clearly stated in the contract. If anything is unclear, be sure to check with your landlord or agent. Formalization of the lease agreement. Drawing up a rental agreement is an important step in the process of renting a home in Bangkok. The contract should be bilingual in Thai and English and contain all the important details such as the rental period, the price, the terms and conditions of the accommodation, and the responsibilities of the parties. Do not sign the contract if there are clauses that are unclear or questionable. It is better to seek professional help or consult an independent expert. Preparing for a lease. Before you sign a lease, make sure you have thoroughly read and understood all of its terms. If there are any clauses that are not clear to you, be sure to consult a lawyer or independent expert. Drafting the rental agreement. The rental agreement must be drafted in 2 languages, Thai and English. It should contain the following information: lease term. The start and end date of the lease is indicated. Rental cost. The full rental cost for the entire period should be specified, as well as payment terms, monthly, quarterly, etc. Living conditions. This section describes the rules for living in rental housing, including permits and prohibitions, e.g., pets, smoking, etc. Responsibilities of the parties. This describes who is responsible for what in the event of various rental situations. Signing the lease. Do not sign the lease until you are sure that all the terms are clear and acceptable to you. If in doubt, seek professional help. Registering the lease. Once the lease is signed, it must be registered. This is a mandatory condition that provides legal protection for both parties. It is important to remember that executing a lease agreement is a serious and responsible process that requires careful attention. You should not be in a hurry and sign the first contract you come across. You may need the help of a professional to make sure that all the terms and conditions of the agreement are met and your rights are protected. Relocation. Moving to a new country involves several steps. Planning. After signing the rental agreement, start planning your move. Take into account the time and day of the move. Packing, transportation, etc. Packaging. Pack your belongings carefully so that they are not damaged during the move. You may need the help of professional movers. Transportation. Arrange for transportation of your belongings to the new place. This can be a car, a truck, or even a container if you are moving from another country. Sorting out things and setting up a place to live. After moving, unpack your belongings and start to organize your new home. It may take some time, but eventually you will feel at home. Adaptation. Adapting to a new country can be challenging, but also exciting. Here are some tips to help you adapt. Learning culture and language. Learn the culture and language of the country you are moving to. This will help you better understand and accept local customs and traditions. Social activity. Join local community and support groups. There are many such groups for foreigners in Bangkok. This will help you adjust faster and make new friends. Psychological support. Remember that adaptation takes time and this is normal. If you feel stressed or uncomfortable, do not hesitate to seek help from a psychologist or counselor. Healthy lifestyle. Follow a healthy lifestyle. A regular diet, physical activity and adequate sleep will help you to maintain your energy and good mood. Moving and adjusting is a difficult process, but with preparation and support it will be much easier and more enjoyable. The importance of knowing the laws and regulations. Knowing the laws and regulations of the country in which you live plays an important role in your daily life. This not only helps you avoid legal problems, but also allows you to respect the culture and customs of the local community. Understanding local laws. Knowledge of local laws helps you understand what is expected of you as a citizen or visitor. This may include knowing what actions are criminal, what rights and responsibilities you have, and what procedures to follow in certain situations. Rent. If you rent a home, it is important to know and understand the terms of your lease. This may include rules about the use of public spaces, noise requirements, pet rules, etc. Failure to follow these rules can lead to problems, including the possibility of losing your home. Respect for culture and customs. Following local laws and regulations is also a sign of respect for the country's culture and customs. This can help you better integrate into the community and create positive relationships with the locals. Preventing legal problems. Ignorance of the law does not exempt you from liability. Therefore, knowing the laws and regulations helps prevent potential legal problems and fines that may arise from incorrect or illegal behavior. Finding and renting accommodation in Bangkok is not just a process, but also an opportunity to immerse yourself in the unique culture and lifestyle of this magnificent city. Whether you're looking for a modern loft in the city center or a cozy home in the suburbs, Bangkok offers plenty of options to suit all tastes and budgets. With the right approach and preparation, the process of finding and renting a home can be a smooth and enjoyable experience. We hope this guide will help you on this journey. If you have any questions or need additional assistance, feel free to contact us.